Taylor Swift isn't just a force in nature, she's an economic tsunami. A lot's been written about Swiftonomics, but that's not going to stop a Swiftie like me from diving into Taylor Swift's economic impact on the worlds of music, real estate, and NFL. I'm your host, Chris Thompson, and this is an IRL Media News Hot Take. Let's get into it. Taylor Swift released her first studio album on October 24th, 2006, called appropriately enough Taylor Swift, which went on to break record sales. But it was Taylor Swift's 2014 album, 1989, that stands out as her best-selling album ever, with 14.3 million copies sold worldwide. She's now released a total of 10 original studio albums, 3 re-recorded studio albums, which we'll get into in a little bit, 5 extended play albums, 4 live albums, and she's sold an estimated 114 million albums worldwide. In 2005, Taylor Swift signed a recording contract with Big Machine Records and went on to record 6 albums for them before things fell apart. When Scooter Braun bought Big Machine from the original owner, Scott Buscetta, for $330 million, Taylor got into a dispute with Scooter over the ownership of her masters for the first 6 studio albums that she wanted to buy back. This resulted in Swift leaving Big Machine Records and moving over to Republic Records in November 2018 after her contract expired. Even after leaving Big Machine Records, Taylor continued her efforts to buy back her masters, but Scooter went on to sell them to Disney family investment firm called Shamrock Holdings for $405 million under the condition that he keeps profiting from the masters. Obviously, Taylor wasn't having any of this. In what can be called a master lesson in revenge, she began re-recording all of her albums and releasing them worldwide. If there's one thing you don't want to do, it's anger Swiftie Nation, and that's exactly what Scooter did. Taylor Swift fans have gone on to buy all of her re-release albums, and even more impressively, they've welded their economic might by refusing to stream her original albums, which Scooter still gets paid royalties on. And instead, they only stream her new albums, hitting Scooter where it really counts, the wallet. If you're anything like me, you love Zillowing celebrity homes. When it comes to real estate, Taylor Swift has amassed a vast portfolio estimated at $150 million. She still owns the first condo she ever purchased in Nashville, Tennessee at age 14. And she doesn't just own one property in Nashville, but also owns a Greek revival home known as North Cumberland Estates, which she purchased in 2011 for a modest $2.5 million. She owns a $50 million penthouse in an old Tribeca building in Manhattan. And if that wasn't enough, she bought another townhouse literally right next door for $18 million. Because you could never have too many bedrooms if you're Taylor Swift, who travels with a huge entourage of loyal friends everywhere she goes. You can't expect Taylor to be homeless when she's in LA, so she owns an 11,000 square foot Beverly Hills mansion that she's renovated and turned into a historical landmark. If I had to pick my favorite Taylor Swift property, it would be her 12,000 square foot Watch Hill estate in Rhode Island, where she throws 4th of July parties with her friends. The power of Swiftonomics is such that her own economic gains positively affect entire cities and the livelihoods of the people involved with her concerts. The inflow of visitors means that they're spending on hotels, restaurants, taxis, Ubers, hot dog vendors, and other businesses. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour concert saw an average of almost 54,000 fans who attended each of her concerts, with an average ticket price of $254. Each Eras show grossed around $13 million, and predictions are that Swift's tour is expected to pull in $2.2 billion in revenue in the United States, making it the highest grossing tour of all time. The New York Times estimated that Taylor Swift Eras Tour will have an economic impact in the U.S. of $4.5 billion in 2023. Taylor stands to make an estimated $300 million from this leg of the U.S. tour alone, and that's before we even talk about her Eras Tour movie premiering on October 13th. The concert film is expected to rake in between $100 to $125 million in its opening weekend, and my guesstimate is it could go on to earn upwards of $300 million worldwide when all is said and done. One study estimated that Swift's 2 performances in Colorado in July of 2023 boosted the state's GDP with $140 million in consumer spending. The Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia stated that Swift's tour helped stimulate travel and tourism in the region, making May the strongest month for hotel revenue in the city since the onset of the pandemic. And I'll bet you already know that Taylor Swift is beyond generous. It's rumored that she gave $100,000 bonus checks to each of the 50 to 80 tractor-trailer truck drivers that worked on her tour as a way of saying thank you for all that they've done for her on her tour. That's one way to make lifelong Swifties. We've already talked about Taylor Swift's economic impact on the GDP of entire cities on her Eras Tour, but what about the Swiftonomics of her impact on the NFL? The rumor going around is that Taylor Swift is dating Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. She's been spotted at the last few Chiefs games sitting in the VIP luxury box with Travis Kelce's mom. Ahead of the Sunday Night Football on Sunday, October 1st, 2023, NBC debuted a Taylor Swift-themed promo ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs versus the New York Jets game. NBC called their market effort going full Swiftie, and that's exactly what ticket prices for the game did, rising 46.3% above normal prices. A ticket to that game would have cost you $428.70 before it was announced that Taylor Swift would be in attendance and doing a promo for that game. But as of October 1st, ticket prices were going for $627.20. Ticket prices aren't the only thing that have been increasing. Travis Kelce's Chiefs jersey sales have spiked 400% in the last month. That's crazy that Taylor Swift's economic impact is so strong that it can boost the sales of someone's jersey that she may or may not even be dating. I'm starting to think the NFL may have jumped the gun in announcing that Usher would be headlining the Super Bowl halftime on February 11th, 2024. Maybe Jay-Z's Rock Nation should rethink the decision and consider hiring Taylor Swift to perform this year's Super Bowl. Imagine the GDP impact that performance would have.